Ever since you went away, every day is just a cloudy day, and I don't know if it's rain from the sky or tears from my eyes falling on my face and rolling down my cheeks. Hey, 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 what's up, family? It's your brother from another daddy and another mommy, King Simon. Yeah, I haven't broadcast from my place in a while, so I'm happy to be in New York City, keeping the vibes positive. 2020 is all about that clear vision, so we're going to clear things up. And remember to share this video because this is about reinventing yourselves or ourselves, because I'm included. Also through numerovation, but also recognizing energy vampires. That's what it's all about. Big up to all the people that's coming in. Share the video. Remember, share this video with new people because I honestly want to help guide new people through what I am doing. In the back, you see my books. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. And then you got numbers are simple. Our children's health is important. And you got no promotion is bad promotion. And all publicity is good publicity. Just spell my name right. Peace to all the people that's coming in. This is going to be a positive video. It's going to be quick. I'm not going to be long. I don't do 1, 2, 3 hour videos because our attention span is really short, according to science. They're saying 10 minutes. So more than likely it's going to be 20 minutes to half an hour. But I just want to share some things. Remember, hit me up on IG. Be my friend on IG. That's King Simon Productions. Also, IG Numeroversity on IG. Facebook, King Simon Productions. Be my friend on King Simon Productions public page. King Simon or MC Simon. Matter of fact, I haven't been going back to MC Simon yet, but I have to find a password for that. So it is what it is. Twitter. Become my friend on Twitter. That's King Simon Prod. That's KINGSIMON Prod, PROD, as in productions. And on Tumblr, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm in all of them. So just look up for King Simon. My website is kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. And also for my events coming up, kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. Also, we have my Cash App. If you feel that what I am doing to serve the purpose of helping to heal myself as well as you, because once I heal me, I heal you also, because what I do helps me to encourage me to come back and help guide people through numerovation, a hybrid form of numerology, which we use the numbers connected to your birthday and your name to give you some type of clarity, to give you some type of steps, to start taking steps to your higher and wisest, greatest path. Because numbers are here to guide. They're not here to control. They're just here to reveal and not conceal and to show you. And I'm not going to get into all the deeper conspiracy stuff. I don't do that because really it doesn't serve you to find out the conspiracy of this and the conspiracy of that and conspiracy of that. Find out what your conspiracy is all about. Find out who you are. And that's what I use the numbers for, to help you to be a better you so you can do better and greater things in the community. That's what it's all about for me. I don't know about nobody else. I just know it is about that for me. I'm a humanitarian. The zodiac sign that I came on this earth with is the Aquarian energy. And then my moon is a Scorpion. So I totally understand. I totally get it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I got a whole lot of planets, got a lot of planets in the sensitive modes. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of planets in the sensitive modes, and I'm very grateful for being in this realm and serving the purpose, because I could have been doing anything else. I could have been doing criminal things back in my day and all the crazy stuff. And I believe all that cause and effect has come back to me. So yes, my moon is in Scorpio, my Mercury is in Aquarius, my Venus is in Pisces, my Mars is in Libra, my Jupiter is in Cancer, my Saturn is in Pisces, my Uranus is in Virgo, my Neptune is in Scorpio, my Pluto is in Virgo, and my North Node is in Taurus, my Ascendant is in Pisces, and my Midhaven is in Sagittarius. So it is what it is. Staying focused. But my numbers are King Simon 3158. That's $ King Simon 3158, of course, on Cash App. Keeping my energy up as usual, and my energy I share with you. And like I said, share this video because I'm going to deal with reinventing yourself through using the numbers. And I'm more than likely going to pull out from my book and focusing more on my book and deal with this, because there's a lot, as small as this book is, there's a lot of information in my book that's at the time when I wrote it, I know there's always continual information that's constantly coming, but the time that I wrote it, I was in that space. I was in that mindset, and I needed to write this book of that time so it will be at least an introductory guidance for all those out there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wrote this book. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. And in the back of the book, I always have recommended reading. Of course, I recommend Lloyd Strayhorn's book. I recommend Nasut Amun-Re Senatumre's book, Solar Numerology, Lloyd Strayhorn's book, Numbers and You, Florence Campbell's book, Your Days Are Numbered, Michael Brill's book, Numbers, Numerology for Healing, and of course, people like Harish Johari's book, Key to Human Behavior Numerology, and of course, many other books I recommend in the back of this book, so you can continue with your studies, even when I start teaching classes. Is important. So if you're watching me on your phone, you're watching me on your big TV screen, your smart television, or wherever you're way back, I want to say salute to you and your family. And because if you're not taking care of yourself, and honestly, praying and meditating for your healing, your internal healing, to help heal your family as well as yourself, that's a problem. We have to heal ourselves. So that's why this particular brief video is all about reinventing yourself. I've reinvented myself numerous times. I've done radio. I've been a radio host. I've been a security. I've done security for stars and entertainers through X-Men. And from those I've done security for buildings. I've done security in crack spots. Even in my younger age, I've been promoting since I was young. But in between all of that, I was always creating some type of multiple streams of income, even before even understanding what multiple streams of income is all about. So it's very important that all of you out there that have not decided to create or find your talents and so you can create multiple streams of income, it's time for you to do so. Of course, you've heard everything else about 2020. 2020 is about that clear vision, that awakening, that paying attention to having good judgment of yourself and others, but also being awakening from within, because the 2 in numerology is also a very intuitive number. Intuitive number. It goes within. And the more you learn to go within, the more you can bring out some of the greatness within to take it to the next level. Big up to my boy, Ethiopian, my boy Joshua Sarah, who did this, and also he does my flyers also. So big up to him, respect to him. And also we got a few events coming up. I am handling the vending for Brother Sanetta's debate that's coming up, and that's happening. The Double Impact in New York, Brother Garfield versus Jabari Osaze. Was Christianity stolen from ancient Kemet? And then it's going to be the first opening speakers and debaters will be Captain Tazariak and Minister Dr. Vince Bantu. Is Christianity good for our people? Is Christianity the white man's religion? Okay, Sanetta is producing this event happening March 22nd. That's the spring equinox day. And doors open at Doors open at 12:30. Events should start around 1:30. There will be a live stream on usalivestream.tv/double impact. That's the name of the program. For ticket information, you can always go to his, I believe he has them. You could call him for ticket information. That's 347-530-4211. That's 347-530-4211. And for vending info, I'm handling the vending. Please call me or text me for vending information. We already have food vendors, so food vendors do not text me. But all vendors otherwise, we have like 25 to 30 slots. And you can text me at 347-496-1022. And then in the month of April, I'm proud to have Baba James Smalls doing, for the first time with me, he's doing a private all-day, no-holds-barred workshop and Q&A, question and answers, on African spiritual connection and its application and how to apply it. How to apply, because he's been doing it for 50 years now. And it's happening on Saturday, April the 18th, and that's going to be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. More than likely, he's going to do a PowerPoint /Q&A and / just sit down with the audience. Only 55 people are allowed. Only 55 people are allowed in this space from 11 a.m. It's a private location, so when you do send the funds for Professor James Smalls all-day workshop, you don't get the address until 24 to 22 hours before the event, before the day of. And advanced love gift is $77. And this is these early bird gifts is $77 until April 4th. And then after that, it'll become $99 after April 4th. So, and the next day on Sunday is a weekend. So we're going to have a public lecture for only 3 hours. The first day is going to be 7 hours with Papa Smalls, only 55 people. But the second day, young people are absolutely free. There's young people are absolutely free. It's going to be at Nicholas, Brooklyn on April the 19th, Sunday to April 19th. It's $25 in advance. And for more information, you can text me at 347-496-1022. If you want to get those early bird tickets, you can go to Cash App and pay through Cash App, or pay through KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. That's KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. And those who want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name, date of birth. Please text me your full name, date of birth to 347-496-1022. All right. So let me start off with energy vampires. Because energy vampires are people that may not even know that they are trying to suck your energy. And let me say that again. Energy vampires are people that when they come near you or when you're on the phone with them, after they leave, you seem to have been drained by their energy. They've pulled your energy out of you. Sometimes they don't even know it, maybe because of what they're going through. Maybe it's something that's in their lineage. Maybe it's something in their families. Maybe it's something when a person has a lot of empathic information or empathic energy that's connected to them. They have to be very mindful of their energy. And let me tell you something. People that are intuitive can also flip the script and become energy vampires also. So you got to be very mindful of your energy, people. I was a person that used to exude energy in the nightclubs, at parties, in different venues. And at when it was time, when I was finished doing it, when I stopped doing the emceeing or whatever, I put down the mic and I was ready to get out of the club. I was ready to get out of the party. I was ready to go to be in my own circle and replenish my energy. Because if you are working in these healing modalities and needing a healing, you always have to replenish your energy. And many of you don't know how to replenish your energy. So I'm going to give you some books that I recommend because I've been reading and studying each one of them. I haven't read all of them completely, but the chapters that I've read, the chapters that I've gone into was very insightful and very, very good for guidance and helping in many ways. Now, the first one I do recommend is this book here. This one is called Energy Vampires. Energy Vampires, a practical guide for psychic self-protection by Dorothy Harbour. Those that have done sessions with me, and I've seen a lot of intuitive, energetic numbers in their chart through their name and their birthday, I always recommend books like this because I know through their numbers that either they can be energy vampires themselves or they can be seduced or be around many energy vampires or have to be very careful of energy vampires. So this is a good book to have. Nicholas does have this book. Nicholas Brooklyn have this book, and I'm just plugging Nicholas because it's Black owned, but you could order it online, and that's by Dorothy Harbour. Harbour spelled Harbour. And I'm going to give 3 books so y'all will know these are the books that you need to get. Boom. The next book I recommend is Empath. Another very good book that I have read. And there's another book that I have. I think I gave it away if I'm not, I got another book on Empath that I gave away, but this is a book that I just got in the mail. But what I've seen in the book, it says, I tell people I don't like when people say complete guide for discovering your gifts and finding your sense of self. It's a thin book. Can't be a complete guide. You're going to always learn. This one is called Empath by Judy Dyer. Now, I don't know if she's related to Wayne Dyer, the late, great Wayne Dyer. I don't know if that's a husband or the daughter. I don't know, because I know he had 8 children. So it might be related to Wayne Dyer. But Wayne Dyer is a good person to check out on YouTube. And that's her last name, Judy Dyer. I know he had 8 children, and he's been transitioned for years now. And this might be his daughter. Let me see. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to look her up. But she might be related to Wayne Dyer. But with that name, Dyer holds, Wayne Dyer is very powerful. And as far as information, no matter what color they come into, what shade or what creed, if the information is good for you, whether they Chinese, Asian, or Black or whatever, get the information. This is a white woman also, big time. But because a lot of this information is our information that they just reinvented and put back out there, or took and put it back out there on the streets, because I'm sorry, they didn't have this in the Caucasus Mountains back in Europe. I'm sorry, they didn't have this type of information, but they did have this type of information in ancient times of ancient Africa, out of ancient China, out of ancient Amexem of the Moors and all that. They had this type of information. They understood the impact. They understood the oracles. They understood that. So another good book. And my third and last recommendation is by an MD named Christian Northrup. This one is called Dodging Energy Vampires. Dodging Energy Vampires. Dodging Energy Vampires. Another good book. And she said this is an empath's guide to evading relationships that drain you and restoring your health and power. Draining relationships, an empath's guide to evading relationships that drain you and restoring your health and power. She's an MD, dodging envy. So I suggest certain books. I suggest these books because the information in there can stimulate many of you out there that are empath. Many of you that have a lot of sensitivity since you was a child, you've been feeling this. Like I, as a child, was feeling that, because even in the times when I wanted to take my own life at 8 years old, I never expected, I didn't understand what was happening in that bathroom. That bathroom in Brooklyn back in the day. I didn't understand that, because what had taken place is like a rush of energy told me not to do it. A rush of voices just came at me in the dark, told me, because I was going to do it in the dark. Things happen in the dark. So a rush of energy I didn't understand until I got older and realized that my ancestors or my spirit guides were speaking from inside of me into my ears, telling me, don't take your life. You're going to miss this person. You're going to miss that. And when they started throwing up all the people that I would miss, and I started crying, and I just put that blade away and said, nah, I'm not going to cut my wrists and do this craziness. So those that have been thinking about that, I tell you right now, there's always a way to get out of that thought pattern. whether you're listening to your ancestors or listening to your inner thoughts or listen to even some people that don't believe in that, there are internal guides and internal thoughts that you need to pay attention. There's positive and negative now. There's some people that say do it. It's like what's so funny is like, and not funny, but what's so interesting, it's like if you have so much negativity around you, I know that people that have committed hurting themselves or have carried it out, they feel that they've been so beaten down that it feels like their inner voice is saying, jump, 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 do it, do it, do it. When there's another quiet voice in you saying, no, wait a minute, don't do that. This person you're going to miss. This person love you. There's another inner voice, but sometimes that negative or that lower frequency voice takes over that. And it's interesting how that can happen, because I went through it 3 times to a point I said, no more. After the 3rd time, I said, nah, I'm going to constantly bombard my head with positive stuff, constantly bombard my head with things that will motivate me and keep on making me want to be motivated to the point that the motivation takes over. The positive motivation takes over to a point anytime a negative thought comes in, boom, I already douse it out. Because according to their science, I've heard motivational speakers talk about it. I've looked it up. But according to the science at MIT, when they study these type of patterns and all that kind of stuff, they say it takes 16 positive to knock out 1 negative. Think about that. 16 positive to knock out 1 negative. That's very interesting. That means negativity is so strong in this realm at times. Now, there's always balance, but negativity is so sexy in the media. Negativity is so powerful in this world that negativity can take over the positive, even if you don't know and don't understand it. Like the news. The news will come with 25 minutes of nothing but negative information before you hear anything positive. And then they might drop the weather and the sports and all that kind of stuff in between. But 25 minutes, again, look, hear what I said. 16 minutes, 16 positive to knock out 1 negative, 25 minutes of negative news early in the morning. You got to be careful what you're listening to. Got to be careful what you're watching. You got to be careful in a society that promotes more negativity and promotes the propaganda of negativity. The society that promotes a lot of this is the one that's going to help destroy your backside. And America is born under the 4 energy. Now, America is born July 4th. And like if anybody have watched me over and over again, the primary numbers of mental health and mental depression, mental worry, and suicidal thoughts and all that kind of stuff is the number 4, the number 7, the number 5, the number 8. Those can be those numbers, but the primary number is 4 and 7. And you've been hearing 25 and 16, what I've been saying, 16 positive to knock out 1 negative. 25 minutes of nothing but negative news in the news. You don't hear 25 minutes of nothing but positive stuff in these so-called major mass media. So it's very important that you protect your mind like it's a garden. And those that are gardeners out there, those that actually takes time to cultivate food and all that, understand the importance of cultivating at the right time, the right moment, and following the almanac of growing food and all that kind of stuff. You have to maintain and watch out for those things that are those other plants that are trying to strangle out the good plants. So you always have to pay. So even your mind, like on radio, we used to play a thing called "The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Waste." This was a drop that we used to play. The mind is a terrible thing to waste, and it is true. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. So please, I'm talking to you out there. I'm talking to myself, because I had to heal. I had to still be on a healing journey for myself. And all those guys and women that you are out there on healing journey, those people that you listen to are on a healing journey. Even if they think they're all fully healed, nobody is fully healed in this society. And even our children are coming through with trauma. Just sometimes just coming out of a wound and feeling the pain of squeezing your head throughout a vaginal hole is a form of pain coming through, because both women and the child go through the pain. So you already inducing a little trauma. And then before the birth, you got to be careful what you're doing. Before the man is about to impregnate a woman, he has to be careful of his thoughts. The women got to be careful of their thoughts before they even have a seed in them. Man, so again, Dodging Energy Vampires by Christian Northrup. Empath by Judy Dyer. Energy Vampires by Dorothy Harbour. Good books to get. Good books to get. We are all on a journey. I see people saying I'm on a journey. We are all on a journey. Your brother King Simon, aka Anthony Brown. Simon is one of my middle names. You know, Caribbean family give y'all woody by name. You know what's up? I gave one of my sons, I gave all my children a lot of names, but and each name have a vibration to it. And that's why I want to get into. I want to get into how numbers, each number from 1 through 9 have a 0 to 9 have a vibration that can help guide you to take the necessary steps to be your very best in your family, in your nation, in your community, but really starting with self. I'm not telling you to go save the world and all that. No, I'm talking about saving yourself. And the study of numbers can help you at least give you a starting premise on saving yourself, because it has helped me immensely. That's why I'm still here today, because once I start understanding those type of frequencies and vibrations connected to the numbers and how they have a high and low, and they're very objective. They'll tell you, oh, look, hey, stop playing. Like if you have a lot of 4s and 8s in your chart, boom, it's already telling me you need discipline. You need focus. You need to structure. You need to organize. You need to recognize who are assets and liabilities. If you're born on the number 1, it tells you need to be courageous. If you're born with a lot of 1s in your name, it tells me you need to be more assertive. You need to be more creative. You need to stay on top of your game. If you're born with a lot of 2, it says you got to be helpful, but you got to use your intuition and move with your intuition on your most powerful, most productive way. If you're born under the number 3 or connected to the number 3 and have a lot of 3s in your name, that means you're expressive. You need to write. You need to release through expressing, whether it's dance, whether it's writing, whether it's photography, whatever you got to do to express yourself, you need to express it. People can't hold your tongue, especially if you're born under number 3. If you're number 4, order and structure, just like a box, 4 corners in the box. You need order, structure, discipline to help you elevate and take yourself to the next level. If you're a 5, 5 represents the expansion number, like the number 3. It's an expanding number that tells you to expand. You love your freedom, but freedom ain't always free in a society that could tell you, hey, you can't scream fire in a theater. That's not freedom. If you can scream fire in the theater, it'll be all right, but you can't scream fire in the theater. So 5 got to understand that, yes, they have to have their freedom, but yes, they can't be scattered and all over the place. They got to be more disciplined and focused. So 5 has to have a certain way with their freedom. They have to have certain abilities that foster their freedom so they can do what they have to do, travel and way to go where they have to go. And if you're born connected to the number 6 or with a lot of 6 in your name, 6 deals with the balance, maintaining harmony within yourself, maintaining that love energy, maintaining that love frequency, that harmonizing and balanced frequency, so you can help others as well as help yourself. Because the more you help yourself, the more you help others, but also the more you help others, the more you help yourself. 7 represents that. 7 represents that research, that analytical frequency and vibration, that you need to analyze everything that you're going to get into. Dot every E, dot every I, cross every T. If you have a lot of 7s in your name, or you're born under the 7 or the 25 or the 16, you got to pay attention. And pay attention also to your intuitive, because the most intuitive numbers in the science of numerology is the number 2 and the number 7. Both are water numbers. And water is a natural conduit and a natural lubricant between the physical and the spiritual realm. Pay attention. Pay attention. So, and if you're born under the number 8 or have a lot of eights in your chart, that's the executive number, but it's also the number that says, pay attention to your karmic energy. Pay attention to your cause and effect in your life. Because karma can come positive and karma can come negative. I've seen it in my own life because my life path is a 17, which is an 8. And I remember doing the crazy, frivolous stuff back in the day. And I remember one time, me and my crew, I was at 14 or 15, and we went to go rob somebody. I was the bag snatcher. I never carried a weapon. I didn't like carrying weapons and all that. I was a bag because I ran real fast back in the day. So I snatched the bag, boom, got the bag, and they did what they had to do with their weapons. And I was like, ooh, okay, I'm glad I didn't have to do all that craziness. But the next week or next 2 weeks, my mother get robbed, get her bag snatched. So karma comes back at my ass real quick. And I had to pay attention to that. And I didn't even, in actuality, I wasn't even studying numbers that heavily. I was in the 5% from 14. And, we understood the mathematics and this and that, and understood what 1 meant. 1 is knowledge, 2 is this, and all that. 3, we was understanding that form of numerology, the study of numbers, but I didn't understand it to that in the intense manner that I understand numbers now. But when I look back and analyze my life and seeing how things can karmically come back to me, and I know that I'm connected to one of the major karma numbers, which is the number 8. Boom, I understood that. So 8, you gotta, 8 people born under 8, 17, or 26 gotta pay attention and be very mindful of who they allow in their circle. And I'm not saying that all numbers don't have to be very careful of that, but I'm saying that 8 is one of the predominant numbers that has to pay to that. Even when you're in an 8 cycle or 8 month or 8 year, or you're born under number 8, or you have a bunch of 8s in your name, boom. I tell it all. When I get into a session with you, when you do a session with me, whether it's a half an hour or an hour, I don't hold no punches. And plus I record it so you can listen back to it. And then the number 9. 9 is that elevating number. On the positive, it's that international number. Anytime I see a certain amount of 9s in your charts, and 9 in your name or your birthday, I know there's some point that you're supposed to learn some type of different language. You're supposed to always stay on an international healing level, a humanitarian level. But the negative of the 9, you could be into the war, military fighting, killing, whatever. You could be a hothead, So sometimes those fire numbers, and each number has an element connected to it. Each number has a gender connected to it. Each number has those vibrations that you have to learn to pick up and understand and control it, because at the end of the day, you can control how your thoughts are going, and how you can stop that once you recognize those negatives that start to pop up. That's why I like to tell people about their negative. I like to tell people about their lower energy of each of their numbers, because if you learn to manage those weaknesses, you can strengthen your strengths and manage the negativity and try to offset that with more positive. Very important. We got to do that, family. So I'm not going to stay here long. I can't do that. Because like I said earlier when I started, our attention span is very short. So reinventing yourself through your numbers can be very helpful. Each number can give you a path where you need to go. Whether you recognize that path or not, it's a path that you need to go. Whether you understand that, and some people are in doubt. And I tell people, numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. Numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. And like I said, numbers is not here to control you. Numbers are here to give you guidance, to get you on that road, to get you through that vortex so you can be the very best, ready to elevate to the highest level when you transition from here and move on. But you could also do it in this realm. So I love when I listen to people like Bobby Hemmett or Brother Panic or Sister Khadija, Brother Panic's wife, or Brother Phil Valentine and his wife, Nalani, or Dr. Africa and his wife, because I see it in elevated levels of the magnitude of their numbers together. Boom. Phil Valentine is born under number 16. His wife is born under number 4. Panic is born under number 25. His wife is born under number 17. Dr. Africa is born under 27. His wife is born under number 16. But I see how they are elevated in their numbers. I see how they elevated, and I see everybody that I see, even in the conscious, quote unquote, conscious community, how they can be elevated instead of going through all the either the arguments or the debauchery or the craziness or the this or the that. I see where their powers and their greatness is. That's why your people support them or they listen to them. It's powerful. Even with all the athletes, you see their greatness in their numbers. So it just lets me know that some people are doing what they're doing intuitively. I was doing a lot of stuff that I was doing intuitively because I've been in promotion since I was 12 years old. And I have a lot of fives in my chart that deals with promotion and production and all that. So I've been producing since I was 12. So that was before I even understood numbers. I just understood, hey, happy birthday. I know birthdays. I just understood that. So that's why I wrote this book. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Because numbers are simple. Whether you add 2 plus 2, which equals 4, or 2 times 2, or 2 take away 2, because there's multiplication in numerology, there's addition in numerology, there's subtraction in numerology, there's division in numerology. You just have to understand which part you're going to use to help you either get rid of the negative or uplift the positive. Get rid of the lower frequency and uplift the higher frequency. Is it a process? Hell yes, it's a process. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being you. Think about you. You're in your own circle, your own bubble by yourself sometimes. It's not easy being you. It's not easy being your brother King Simon. But like I said, each one of us have the ability to elevate ourselves, reinvent ourselves to the very best that we can be, even if it's on a low level. I'm not talking about international level if you don't want to do international, because I know with a lot of that stuff comes a lot of other problems. But each one of us can do something in our community or in our family or with ourselves to take us to the next level, because I've done it. I wasn't expecting to write 3 books so far, and I'm going to write 7 more. I'm going to write 10 books. That's what I want to write, and that's it. 10 books. I'm not into 90 plus books and all that kind of stuff. I don't need to write 400 books and all that kind of stuff. Nah, man, I just need 10 good informational books that will live on for my generation to generation, for my children, for my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. Beautiful. I'm simple. You know what I'm saying? I am very simple. So it's very important. It's very important that y'all learn to understand who you are through your bloodline, through your family lineage and everything else that you're going to find out who had this and who had that, through your mathematics, through your astrology, through your cardology, whatever you want to get those sessions with people, because modalities like this helps to reveal things. Like I said, it's not here to control. I don't suggest people keep on going to another a reader all the time, or somebody that's going to read. I don't suggest that. I suggest all the time, when you're making important decisions, making important moves, if you want clarification, because you already have it intuitively. You already know this. You already know the mathematics if you study. Once you study the basics and study probably an advanced class, you already got it. But it's up to you to apply it. And once you apply it, then it will help you to be your very best, because everything is in your hands, brothers and sisters. Everything is in your hands. And after your child gets to know themselves, it's in their hands too. Right now, let me say one more story about one of my sons now. We're going already 38 minutes. One of my sons, my youngest son right now, he born on the 7th. His alignment numbers are number 9. His life path is an 8. And he living all of that in his teenage years. He living all of the lower frequencies of it. And I just keep on laughing with him and telling him, I said, brother, I broke this down to you years ago. I broke your numbers down to you a long time. But some people have to walk that path. How many of you know some relatives that had to go to jail to learn the lesson, who had to go? Some people had to be sacrificed. Some people had to die for some other family member to get it. Somebody close to their brother or their sister to get it. I was watching Vlad TV, and one of the brothers from Vlad TV who used to do security for Suge Knight, his brother passed on. May you rest in peace. His brother passed on, and he wished he never introduced his brother to that life. And he was crying on Vlad TV, crying. I forgot one of the gang members' name. I know he was from those type during Suge Knight's time, but he was crying on Vlad TV, and he wished he never introduced his brother to that gang world, and his brother got killed. But he wished he would have done it. So somebody had to be sacrificed. There had to be a casualty. There had to be a casualty. My uncle, he got killed. My uncle got killed at his weed spot years ago. It was a weed spot coming from, my uncle came from a Belmont Park racetrack and won some money. And my uncle wasn't one to put money in his wallet. He always put it in his pocket. So some guys followed him home, or some friend of his, quote unquote friend, set him up. And they rushed him at the weed spot. But what the police report said is that his knuckles were so my uncle was a fighter. He was a former English military from out of Jamaica. He went to England, got into one of those special forces. So he was a fighter. So he got the best of these guys, I heard, as far as the police report. I was young when it happened. Got the best of them with his fists and all that. So they had to pull out on him. And they shot him twice in his chest, and he's still fighting, but he hit the floor. And when he hit the floor, because I guess he was bleeding so much, they shot him in his head. Because he got the best of him. My uncle was one. My uncle, let me describe my uncle. My uncle was built like Michael Jai White. He had a body like Michael Jai White. So go figure. And he was about that height. He was about that size, that built. My father and my uncles always had that. And I know if I put in a lot of workout, I know I'd have a body like that too. Me and Michael Jai White born the same year, on the same number frequency a little. He's November 10th. I'm February 1st, 67. But if you equate the numbers and connect it all together, you'll find that we have a similar numbers frequency. But I'm telling you, my uncle gave these two guys a beating. That's what the police officer, because they didn't see that much blood, I think, around my uncle's body, but until after they shot. But they know his knuckles were so bruised. He must have been hitting people and hitting things. And he was fast with his hand. I remember that. But he lost his life because of people following him for money and all that kind of stuff. But his death stopped my father from doing a lot of gambling again, because that turned his life around. And then me studying his life stopped me from doing gambling. I was never into gambling and poker or Belmont. Although they used to take me to Belmont Park for horse races, I was never into that. I never wanted to do that because of what I heard and then I know there's malicious people that will follow you and try to take your life for the money that you might win. And I don't doubt that I wouldn't have won, because I remember picking some numbers for my uncle when I was little, and he won the tracks, and I think he gave me some money. Okay, boom. So I understood some people have to die. Or some people have to go to jail. Some people have to go get hurt or whatever to make the people in their family or their friends or people in their gang, make them understand that, yo, this ain't no game out here. So I'm good. Although I miss my uncle and I miss certain family members that have transitioned and all that kind of stuff, but I learned, and sometimes it has to happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it has to happen, and that's the real deal. So, family, like I said, reinventing yourself is so important. Don't be afraid to step out in faith, if that's what it's called. Don't be afraid to leap and grow your wings on the way down. If you have some type of love in your life, you do what you love to do. And for my birthday, I was in Texas. I want to say one last thing again. I know that was the last story, but it looked like this is going to go into an hour. For my birthday, I was in Texas, and I spent some time with Baba James Smalls, who was doing a lecture for the Shrine of the Black Madonna. But the next day, it was on my birthday, February 1st, but on February 2nd, I hung out with Omar and Kanisha Bashir. Now, Brother Omar is Jimmy Cliff's son, the reggae artist, the reggae ambassador. He's like Bob Marley to me. And Jimmy Cliff, when I was in the Ansar community under Imam Isa, who y'all know as Dr. York today, when he was Muslim back in the 80s, Jimmy Cliff used to come there and do studio recordings, work with Dr. York also. And Jimmy Cliff, I was cooking in the Ansarullah community restaurant. I was one of the chefs, one of the pizza men, and I used to cook the breakfast also with Abdul Hafid and the late Abdul Hafid, and work with him in there. And Jimmy Cliff came in the store, and I was so took him back that he came into the store. People like him and Blue Magic and a lot of people used to come into the store. And he came in the store and I said, yo, I want to be a reggae star, reggae entertainment and all that kind of stuff. And there's 6 things that Jimmy Cliff said, 6 words Jimmy Cliff said to me. He said, do what you love to do. Do what you love to do, my brethren. That's what he said. And those words resonated with me. And when I left the Ansarullah community on Bushwick Avenue, well, I left out of Philadelphia in '88 with my first wife. I left them because I could not stay in there. They had me on house arrest and all that kind of stuff. That's a whole nother story in Philadelphia. So when I left that community, family, I went right back to the radio stations because I was winning all kind of contests on air. Dr. York was the first to record me as far as a reggae song. But when I left, I got recorded in '88 going into '89. I think they found me back. My old producer found me back in my old radio personality friend found me back. Clive Hudson found me again because I called in and won another reggae I won another reggae contest on radio through one of my songs. And then he took me to the studios. I recorded with Sting International and Philip Smart, the late great Philip Smart. If you don't know who Philip Smart was, he produced a lot of songs and mixed down a lot of people like Shabba Ranks, Sting, Shaggy. And Sting International was Shaggy's producer. And Sting used to work out of HCF's recording studio in Long Island. And me and Sting go back years. I've done tracks for him back in the day. But that particular song, Black and White Story, went up to number 16 on the chart, then went up to number 5 on the chart just within 2 to 3 weeks. I left the Ansar community just by what Jimmy Cliff said, do what you love to do. And I did what I love to do and hit the charts running. The only reason I left reggae music is because I felt I got robbed in the business. And I said, you know what? Let me reinvent myself and become a radio personality and a TV personality. So the producers and the artists had to come to me to play their music. Reinvention now, stayed in the music business, stayed in the promotion business, stayed in the production business. But I had to reinvent myself and present myself as a radio jock. And I became a Simon Templar. They know me as a radio jock throughout WLIB, doing commercials for them. WWRL, underground radio, hosting major shows for like 10 years. I was doing all of that, reinventing myself in what I love. And you got to keep on being, like this person said, resilience, but also be persistent, consistent, and don't be afraid to reinvent yourself in a genre. If you're a music writer, hey, you could write a book. You could do some journalism. If you can write music, if you can write poetry, if you could do multiple things in the writing arena. If you're a photographer, you could do multiple things in the photography arena. If you're a dancer, you could do multiple things in the dancing arena, even to teaching people or teaching young people. Reinventing yourself. Don't limit who and what you are. You got much more. And in numerology, my numerovation, that's why I motivate you with your numbers. I show you how your numbers reveal each one of those different things. And I'm getting better and better every day because I study every day. And I don't just study books. I study my intuition. I study patterns coming up because numbers is all about studying the patterns. Whether it's the high of the patterns or the low of the patterns, it's all about studying patterns. That's what mathematicians does. That's what scientists do. That's what physicists do. That's what astrophysicists. That's what great physicists like the Neil deGrasse Tyson, they study patterns. And these patterns reveal a consistency of things that's going on. So I study the patterns of human existence through the numbers connected to your birthday and your name, because the numbers transpose from your letters into your numbers, and it can help me reveal a whole lot. So much into numbers, so much you can find out numbers, and numbers is endless because it's mathematics, baby. It's mathematics. And you see, I'm in good vibes, man. I keep my energy up. There's times when I'm down, but even when I'm down, I'll listen to a comedy show. I just came from a comedy show, so I got to salute I got to salute Sync, the comedian, and all the comedians that came through. I was at Topaz over here on Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. Went to visit him because I got something coming up soon dealing with comedy, numerovation, and physical therapy, psychological therapy. I'm going to mix that all up and put it into one event. I'll probably do it every month or every 2 months and bring somebody in. So, man, you can do whatever you want to do on your level and where you want to go with it. Stay focused, family. Big up to James O. Said he's in the music. I'm in the music business doing what I love to do. Exactly. Being executive. Birthday February 1st. You know what we do, bro? Started as a writer, must get back to it. Yo, writing has so much dimension in writing. There's so much dimension in writing. You don't have to just be a writer for music. You could be teaching these young people. Because the more you teach young people, the more your name lives on and on for 50 to 100 years. Teach them babies. Teach them babies to write. Teach them how to produce music. Teach them. Don't be afraid. That's why I'm not afraid to teach people numbers. I'm not afraid to give it to you free online, but I do want you to do your own research. Don't constantly ask me, even people that are my participants. I don't call them students. They're my participants because I'm a master student ascending to be a master teacher. I'm a master student. I maintain that humility because I understand that this stuff can take over your head sometimes. Cameras like this can take over your head. That's the whole premise of what happened between Malcolm and Elijah. Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. Those cameras can take your head sometimes. You got to be very careful of those cameras in front of. So I'm very careful in front of the camera. I know I don't have drama. I don't get into debates. I don't get into all that stuff. If that's your lane, you stay in your lane. I stay in my lane. Boom. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. I stay in my lane. Boom. No promotion is bad promotion. And all publicity is good publicity. I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane. That's what I do. And then I create other lanes that's connected to my same lane. I stay in my lane. All right? So, once again, family, please share this video. Share this video. Be careful of energy vampires over there. And energy vampires could be in your own family. Reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself and take what you already have in your arsenal and create something else. I want to hear from y'all. And if you're going to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And let's seriously talk for half an hour or an hour. But I want you to ask the questions. If you have some deep down question, because I'm not here to read you. You know who the hell you are. I'm here to read your numbers, consult you with your numbers and how far you're willing to go with it. That's all I'm here to do. Other people may want to read numbers and read astrology and read you about this and tell you about this. I'm not against that. If that's what they do, that's what they do. I'm here to motivate your ass. Pardon me, those who have children. I'm here to motivate you. That's why I do numerovation, motivating you with your numbers, to take you to say, you know what? King Simon said something deep. Ooh, King Simon struck me with this number and said, ooh, this is what it is. I had my ex-wife text me talking about she wants a reading. You know what? Sometimes I don't even waste time. I love her. I respect her. And I said, let me tell you something. You don't need a reading. You need to stay, because she's born under one of those disturbing numbers that are either too much worry, too much negativity harboring in her head. She don't need a reading. I told her that straight up. Matter of fact, I'll read it to you. I'm not going to tell you her name or none of that, guy, because I've been married 3 times and I have 6 children's mother. And some of them call me for readings and all that. My children call me for sessions. It's all right. I don't mind. But if I keep on telling you over and over again and you're not listening, just because some people don't value the information if they're not paying for it sometimes, and some people don't value the information you have to share when they're that close to you and they have that access to you. So I'm going to read it to you, what I told her. I'm going to read it to you, what I told her, because I want y'all to understand this is serious. I'm very serious about what I do. And regardless if you're family or not, I'm letting you know in your face that you playing games. What did I say to her? I'm a serious dude, yo. I don't play games. I really don't play games. I don't care if you're my family or not. I don't care if I was married to you or not. I don't care if you had children from me or not. I'm going to tell you what it is because numbers are objective. They're not subjective. Numbers are objective. They're not subjective. So she texts me and says, greetings, can I get a reading? I said, LOL. You don't need a reading from me. You just need to stay focused, stay positive, and practice visualization on positive and productivity in your life. Have a great day. That's it. I'm not going to go into a whole half an hour dissertation because I know her numbers. I've talked to her. I've spoke to her. And this is one of my ex-wives. And I spoke to her. And she said, oh, and then she texted me and said, oh, I stay in my negative mindset. I already knew that a lot. And I'm sick all the time. Boom. So I sent her a picture of this book. She needs to read this book, Energy Vampires, because the Energy Vampires book by Dorothy Harbour gives you rituals on how to navigate and get rid of some of this energy vampiric madness around you. Whether it's because sometimes you might be around a family member that is all negative, or the family member might bring a mate or a boyfriend that might be negative, and you pick because you're such an empath. And I know my ex-wife is an empath. She's an empath, and she can't take the negativity. And the negativity can come from anywhere. You might have your children around you, and boom, they went somewhere and picked up a negative energy like perfume. They'll pick up. You ever hug somebody and they had this strong smelling perfume, and all of a sudden you smelling the same perfume an hour later because you hugged that person and that perfume jumped on you? Exactly what energy vampire is like. It could jump on you and then spread to somebody else. That's exactly what an energy vampire is like. I think it's hilarious, but that's a great analogy. Bad perfume or strong perfume, and you hugging somebody, and all of a sudden you left that person an hour ago, but you still smelling this person. You gave that mother effing person a hug, and guess what? This bad perfume is all on you, walking with you, and hugging you and hovering around you and smelling up your whole place. Boom. I'm telling you. So it's hilarious to me. So people that have those empathic energy, like my ex-wife, and like people out there like yourself that has that empathic energy, you gotta protect your energy at all costs. Not be paranoid, but protect your energy at all costs. I protect my energy. So if you see me just giving people a pound like Barack Obama and his wife, or like Rastas do, you still just pound people, yeah, man, when I just shake people on it, or if I'm shaking your hand, I'm telling you, I'm shaking your hand, and I might hold this or so. This is an old African method that Dick Gregory was telling us about back in the day. You put your hand on the arm as you shake it so the energy don't crawl up your arm. Or if you see me snapping my fingers, or you see people just go like this, they shake your hand and just snap their fingers up, they're breaking energy. Psychologically, they're breaking energy, but physically, they're breaking energy. Or hugging you and clapping after they. Look, all you empaths need to, after you hug somebody, clap. And you can make it inconspicuous. Like I tell all my people, I say, hey, look, yo, you hug them and say, go, so happy to see you. Look, I make it look good. Oh my goodness, it's so happy to see you. Oh. And I do it with everybody if I have to. I do it with everybody. And it's no slight on you. There's no slight on anybody. If you shaking my hand and I do this, it's not about you. It's just now I've created a habit of breaking energy, because I do so much energy work when I do sessions with you. After I do a session with anybody out there that does one, I usually go and rest because I take in so much. I put so much in. Then I have to do the mathematics on the paper. I'm not just doing it off of my head like that, although I can, but I have to do it on the paper and really focus before I get into a session. That's why I usually text you a reminder 10 minutes before, because I'm within that hour, I'm looking at your charts and looking at your numbers and like feeling the numbers and putting certain books around me just in case I have to reach for. My spirit says, reach for this book and clarify something for them to make them know what is and what isn't. We all do it. We all got to do, especially if we're in this work. If you're in this work and you plan on getting in this work, or you're growing into this work, take time to protect your energy. Take time to protect your energy, especially those that are water signs, water numbers, and earth signs and earth numbers. Protect your energy, because those are the feminine energies that sometimes have to be very mindful of what they allow in their, and the feminine numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do you appreciate? Interesting. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do you appreciate? And you got to appreciate you. Now, the water numbers, although 7 is a male number in one aspect, it is a water number that still picks up on energy. So people born on the 7th, 16th, 25th of the month, people born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of the month have to be especially prepared and protective of themselves. Not paranoid, protective. Not paranoid, protective. I'll say it again, not paranoid, protective, protective. And if you have a lot of those energies in your name, you have a lot of those numbers in your name, then I will tell you, you got a lot of this in your name and why you need to be this. I'll tell you what you got, if the old soul energy or this type of energy. I have to tell you, because numbers are objective in the study of numerology. I have to tell you. I have to tell you the positive, and I have to give you the negative. I have to say, yo, look, I'll call you on your BS, especially when you're doing compatibility. And let me tell you something. Compatibility is not easy. Compatibility sessions with me is not easy because I require both of you on the line, and I need to talk to both of you because I got to pull both of your bull crap out. Because the only way you're going to grow to be your very best is to understand the bull crap and learn to turn lemons into lemonades. And if the relationship is supposed to happen, it will happen. If it's not supposed to happen, because one don't want to walk that road, because we got hard-headed men and you got hard-headed women. One don't. Maybe you've done enough to them that they don't want to walk that road with you anymore. Sometimes that's what it is. And the cycles reveal that to me. Your cycles that you're in, the year cycle, the monthly cycles, the daily cycles, it reveals that to me. Because everything, there's a cycle and a season. To everything, there's a cycle and a season. Everybody, if you got a Bible in your house right now, just go to Ecclesiastes 3. Ecclesiastes 3. Chapter 3, just read that first a few if there's a cycle and a season to everything. There's a time for this and a time for that, a time to do this, a time to do that, a time to do that. They tell you straight up. So my family, let me get on out of here and get me some rest. Good old water, agua. Good old. This is about 3 cups. 3 cups of water. I'm going to drink at least most of that before I go to bed. Relax. Once again, join us with Professor James Smalls doing an all-day workshop on African spiritual connection and application. How to apply your African spiritual connection, your Amexem spiritual connection. How to apply all of your spiritual connection, because regardless what religion you're under, regardless what spirituality you're under, you need to learn to connect it. And one of the elders that's been doing this for 50 years, I got him coming in for a 2-day weekend. If you do pay for both, you get a discount for if you come to the all-day session, I guarantee you to get a discount of the public session that's happening on Sunday. So you get a $10 discount if you're going to come to the day if you're coming to the all-day workshop with Professor Smalls on April the 18th, Saturday, April the 18th. The public one on Sunday, the 19th, you'll get a $10 discount from that, because I think it's $25. That means you'll get to come in for $15. So if you pay for both of them at the same time, let me know. Text me at 347-496-1022. There's hotels around there, Airbnbs around there. I could probably guide you to the Airbnb. There's a few Airbnbs around there. I know my family members own an Airbnb. There's a few hotels. If you're coming in for the weekend, come to Professor Smalls is an older gentleman. We don't know how much, and this is a private all-day, no holds bar Q&A. I'll be there also. I'm going to open it up and get in there, then bring the professor on and let him go in for 6 hours. There's a 1-hour break. We're going to have delicious vegan food by Patra Mama. Patra Mama, aka Sister Asma, is going to be bringing this vegan food that's going to stimulate the brains. We're not trying to put you to sleep with the food. We want you to make sure your brain is working even while you're getting this information. And we have free beverages. Everything is included in that set. And remember, the $77 advanced love gift is all the way until April 4th. So get your say. You got until April 4th. You got until the day of April 4th. You can go to KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. That's KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. If you don't want to pay the surcharges on Eventbrite, then you can come through PayPal or Cash App. But please come check out Baba Smalls. Y'all seen him on Hidden Colors. You've seen him on Sinetta TV. You've heard him on my channel. You've heard him on various other places. The man is a reservoir of information. Also, he was the consultant for the Godfather of Harlem with the Bumpy Johnson and Malcolm X. He was the consultant. He was the bodyguard for Malcolm X's sister. So he was that close. He was that close on the street. So you get to ask him any and all questions. This will not be live stream. It more than likely we're going to videotape it for sales later, but this will not be live stream. Will not be live stream. Only 55 people are allowed. And Nicholas only holds 80 to 100 people. So children are free at Nicholas. There's no children allowed at this event. So children are free at Nicholas, children up to the age of 17, because I received this information at 14. So I want the children to come and hear one of the Babas, who was the leader of the Africana Studies in City College and most of these colleges back in the day, with Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Dr. Jeffries, all of this man here, Professor Smalls. Like Queen's Flip say, he has a soothing voice, for real. He has a soothing voice, but he talks, he's a manly, strong man, a strong brother that just breaks it down in a soothing way. So come on out. Text me if you want to do a Numerovation session. Please text me at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Everything is in the description below. Everything is in the description below if you want to text me, or go to my Eventbrite, KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com, or go to KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. You could also go to numbersaresimple.com and hit me up on IG, family. Look, I love you. I respect you. I honor you. And like I said, please reinvent ourselves. We have to reinvent ourselves. We're not going to retire. We're going to reinvent. Reinvent, no retiring. Reinvent to a better life for yourself through doing what you love. And like I said, pay attention to the energy vampires around you. Recognize who are assets and liabilities and get rid of the liabilities. I don't care who they are. Recognize who are assets and liabilities and get rid of the liabilities. 2020 is the clear vision year. Yes. On the negative, though, you can be dulled and get caught up out there because of the illusions and the smokes and mirrors they're throwing at us. There's a lot of smoke and mirror being thrown at us. So we got to be aware. That's when you got to go, because the twos represents this intuitive energy. That 22 master number, master your intuition. Go within, and then you'll find what's without. Go within, and you'll find what's without. And you'll find that whatever you're pulling towards you is because you're pulling it when you don't need to pull it, when you just need to visualize and move on and have a clear awakening and a clear judgment of who you are and what you need to do, because that 20 represents judgment. That 20 represents the awakening. That 20 represents new purpose, new goals, new things, great things that you're supposed to do with your life. Stop playing with it. That's why I do numerovation for the nation, baby. Numerovation for the nation. It's for all of us. From my perspective, that's how I want to do it. And it's going to go on for years and years and years, because a lot of these numerologists and astrologers are going to realize they need to motivate more, take it to the next level. They're going to have to motivate, because there's going to be a lot of people that's down, a lot of people that's downtrodden. They're going to be thinking about mental illness, mental problems. A lot of mental stuff is coming up. A lot of stuff is coming up, especially in these 2000s. It's been going on. It's going up. It's going up. It's going up. It's going to be strong. As long as you start seeing those, as long as we've been in the 2000s, it's been much more emotional. Much more emotions have been kicking in strongly. Things are being revealed. Secrets are being revealed in your own family, amongst your friends, amongst your past. All of that is being revealed. So, hey, cleanse it out, let it out, detox it out. Remember, it's a process. It's not an event. It's a process. I don't care how long the process is. I love and respect you, honor you. And like we say in the dojo, and I want all of us to say it together, as we walk in peace, and fear will not prevail. We are not the aggressors, but if we are attacked, we fight with those who fight with us. And if we must fight, we fight to survive, we fight to the finish, and we fight to the death. That's one of our creeds in the dojo of martial arts. I added survive and finish, but they usually say fight to the death. So I walk in the spirit of the ancestors. I walk in the spirit of my creative force. I ain't worrying about nobody, nothing. None of the stuff that they throwing out there, I'm not worried. That's why I don't get caught up on it. That's why I didn't do anything on Kobe Bryant. Condolences to the family, but I let everybody else do that, and I understand. But I am going to do something on the Mamba mentality, because the Mamba mentality really is about expansion and growth and creativity and being intuitive in a time when they want to cast all these spells in your head, because it's all about the mind of the people that they're trying to get to. They're trying to get to your mind so you can pay attention to their mind. They want your mind to pay attention to them while they're doing something else in the background. They're always doing that. That's a military move. Stop playing. If they can't control you, they'll confuse you. Study military strategy, study the art of war, study Machiavelli, study all of these books, the art of war by Robert Greene, the art of war by Sun Tzu. Study. And like Noble Drew Ali said, born on January 8th himself, old soul himself, Noble Drew Ali said, after you study, you study yourself. And watch what happens. Peace, love, and soul. I'm out of here, King Simon. Remember, hit me up on all social media. Google me, King Simon Productions, and you'll get where you got to go. Peace and love. Take care.